The countless number of celebrities either politicizing or mocking Charlie Kirk's situation since he was assassinated on September 10th has been not just disgraceful to the general public, but also it just goes to show you exactly the true colors of some of these celebrities, whether it's actors, actresses, writers, directors, comedians, even singers out there representing the music industry. We have seen this happen with Katy Perry, Selena Gomez, Taylor Swift on and off, as well as Ariana Grande and Pink. But one thing is for certain is that when you're looking at someone like Tom Hanks, who represents the film industry, who is very much familiar to a lot of people out there and around the world, has gone on multiple Trump rants and using the Charlie Kirk situation to politicize it yet again. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Tom Hanks is that we all know that he showed his true colors for sure multiple times ever since September 10th when he actually turned this into a Trump issue. Also, going back to January of this year when he did the 50th anniversary of SNL, where he actually played a parody version of a Trump supporter that obviously backfired on him and lost him millions of fans. And ever since NBC took action against Tom Hanks weeks back when they decided to ban him and prevent him from doing further episodes of SNL down the road, for the remainder of 2025 leading into 2026 and not doing those parody versions of a Trump supporter anymore, that was also very telling that even Tom Hanks was too much for NBC to handle at that point. However, things just got worse when Tom Hanks considered to actually take advantage of the Charlie Kirk situation yet again by turning it into a 100% Trump issue. Now, with the assassination of Charlie Kirk that happened now 1 month ago today, and causing many of those in Hollywood to take advantage of the situation by politicizing it in the worst ways possible, one major development going on now involves more to do with Tom Hanks once again attacking the public for supporting Charlie Kirk. Hanks delivered the following: "Look, all I will say is rest in peace to Charlie, but supporting him is not the right answer for this country. I think it's a shame that so many citizens of this country are putting their fate into one man's hands on how the country should be run. So I don't think supporting him is the right answer to recovering this country. If anything, it's only contributing to more political issues and division. And when I look at Charlie and his supporters, I also see those following Trump and this administration and what they have done to this once beloved place that was so under control by President Biden. I don't think you can even debate that. It's unfortunate that Charlie's supporters are the same ones that support President Trump, who is putting out all of these reckless executive orders and mishandling the border by enforcing violence on people that don't deserve it. Look, I have been in this business for a long time, and if it's anything to say lately that's been contributing to the issues in our country, it's all going back to Republicans. And it's no coincidence that MAGA Republicans support Charlie Kirk's views. I think we as a society, we need to do better. Look, I'm a Greek citizen and I'm proud to say that, and they run things very well over there. Imagine that. Greece is doing a better job handling their society than ours here in the US. And it's that fact that's creating so much panic and unease right now under this administration that wants to treat politics like reality television. The industry I once knew for film is no longer a thing because of President Trump, and it's unfortunate that those supporting Trump are the same ones supporting Charlie, because that's the legacy that he is leaving behind, and how it all goes back to Trump and his failed policies, and his half-truths that he supports. It's just a sad story to me all in all, and I hope things will change next year during the midterms, but I'm beginning to lose all hope for that as well for Democrats. I think we need to blame social media for playing a large role in convincing so many people that Trump's policies work and that they are good for this country. If you are for the loss of freedom of speech and higher taxes, then by all means support President Trump, but don't let the man fool you into believing that costs are going down and that's how and that you have full freedom of speech to what you are able to say. Now guys, let me just stop right there for one moment about Tom Hanks. Now, the fact that he always drags Charlie Kirk into his Trump issues, into his issues with Trump's policies, I think it just goes to show you that all these celebrities are literally just using Charlie Kirk and what happened to him on the 10th of September to just point the finger and say this is the way or the highway, basically, right? Now, we know one thing about celebrities right now is that nobody wants to be lectured by people like Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, George Clooney. People are done. People are over and done with these celebrities. They don't want to deal with them anymore. They're not supporting their work. And a fine example, this is a very good and interesting example, by the way. If you look at Robert De Niro's film, The Alto Knights, which debuted in March of this year, it failed miserably at the box office. It just did not work out well. And yes, we know that Tom Hanks is working on a couple of films right now, the biggest one of all being Toy Story 5 for next year. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how many people are willing to go out and support that film, and given the fact that it stars Tom Hanks because he voices Woody, it's going to be quite interesting to see how it does perform at the box office, because we know that Disney is not doing too hot right now, especially looking at their latest film, Tron Ares. However, he goes on to continue, those days are gone, and what happened to Charlie should never have happened, but I will never understand how people can support his views then and now. It's just not what's best for our country. If we vote Democrat and win Democrat next year, we won't have to tolerate with Trump's policies that are wrecking our country day by day and making a mockery of us to others. So, basically what Tom Hanks is doing right now is that he's using Charlie Kirk's assassination to push support for the midterms to have Democrats win at the midterms. Now, look, I think that when you're looking at people like Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, and many others out there like Stephen King, who is really, really bad, by the way. I mean, I think that Stephen King is probably worse than Mark Hamill at this point based on what he said, blatantly lying about Charlie Kirk and being forced to apologize only because his books were taken off store shelves. However, when you're looking at someone like Tom Hanks, right, they believe that they're so unstoppable to the point that they can't lose fans and that their support will never end. In reality, alright, fans are actually leaving in droves. People have checked out of all work for Robert De Niro, for Tom Hanks as well, for a lot of others out there that are representing the film industry. This is exactly why Hollywood is struggling, and it's not just catered to these actors and actresses acting like activists, and that's why I like to call them actorvists, because they're actors disguising themselves basically as activists. We know at the same exact time, it's way too expensive for a lot of families to go out there and spend money on these movies, right? And especially when you're throwing in, food into the mix, forget about it. Now, people are questioning whether or not they even want to support specific actors anymore if they're lecturing people or getting way too political. And that's the problem at the end of the day, right? So Tom Hanks is obviously getting very bitter about not just what happened to him from NBC and SNL when he got banned from them, but he's also very bitter over the fact that his actual fan base is checking out. They're basically walking away in droves now. They don't want to listen to it anymore. And the fact that all of these celebrities are taking advantage of Charlie Kirk's assassination is not only disgusting to me, but it's also disgusting to a lot of people around the entire world. But overall, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.